So now what we're going to do is see if we can get this mess back together. So if my memory serves me right, we had the round end of the screw in the bottom, the blade goes in the slots facing this way, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a little bit of oil in there. Not that it moves, but just to keep rust out. Now this is the part where this one wants to come over the top and lock into the square part of that bolt. But what I usually do before I put that back together is I'll just take a little bit of this white lithium grease and stick it in there for some lubrication. And then we'll get a paper towel and just clean that off a bit. Okay, the next piece we're going to put on is going to be this big piece right here. And we're going to put down our nut, the big nut. Once again, we shouldn't need to use pliers for this one. You want that to be about hand tight. And when I was reading the Felco directions, they say that what you want to have is you want to have 2/3 of the cutting blade touching the lower anvil there. So we want to have it touching till around here. I usually just end up playing with this a bit until it cuts well and it's not so tight. We'll actually put the spring in. Quite often you'll get it so tight that it'll cut, but then it won't come back. But now see, that feels pretty good. Could I loosen that up a touch? And it's kind of a trial and error thing. You know, don't get frustrated if you do this the first time. Don't get frustrated if you do this the first time and it doesn't work out. But there you go, and I can actually feel the blade touching the anvil. So that should be good. So once we've got the big nut in, we can go ahead and put our lock nut on. And once you put this lock nut on, you're not going to be able to rotate the bigger one. That's the whole purpose of this one. So that feels pretty good. And then what we want to do is go ahead and put back on our lock, so when we have this in our holster, we can lock it. You never really want to be walking around with an open pair of pruning shears because somebody's going to get hurt there. So remember, we've got that very small, teeny tiny washer on the inside. We need to make sure we don't lose that washer. And another nice thing with Felcos is you can certainly order parts. If you do lose it, it's not the end of the world. You can certainly order parts for them. And this is another one where, you know, you can put this screw in too tight. You put this screw in too tight, and it's going to take a lot of effort to open and close your Felcos. You put it in too loose, and it's going to, you know, they're going to open by themselves. So, you know, there's always a little bit of adjustments to make. And then the last thing we should do is, you know, this is daily. We should be putting some oil on the spring, and we should be putting some oil around the pruner, and I'll just go really heavy and wipe that around without touching the blade, just to keep it looking nice. But there you go, there's our after. Now, which pair of pruners would you rather start the season with? This nice sharp pair here, or this ratty looking pair here? I'm pretty sure most people are going to be reaching for these. Okay, I went out in the yard and I got a viburnum here just to give these guys a try. And they certainly do seem to cut, right? Now, when I first got my Felcos, I was amazed at how slim of a piece you could cut with them. You know you've got the sharpening thing down pretty good if you can cut almost a see-through piece of wood. And that's certainly within acceptable tolerances. So I hope you'll give it a try, folks. I've been doing this for over 20 years now, sharpening pruners. And the first time it might be a little bit complex. You'll scratch your head. Maybe it'll take you an hour to put the pieces on right. But just stick with it, folks. There's nothing more satisfying than a sharp pair of pruners and also a sharp pair of pruners that you sharpened. It really means a lot. So thanks for watching today, folks. If you liked the video, please like it. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.